Here's a detailed, engaging, and 10-minute script for your YouTube video about the 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Mark Washington $quarter worth $1.9 million. The script is structured to capture viewer interest, provide educational value, and encourage interaction. Could this simple quarter from your change jar be worth $1.9 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Washington quarter has sold for an astonishing $1.9 million. Stick around to find out how you can tell if you're holding one of these incredibly valuable coins. In 1976, the United States celebrated its 200th birthday, the Bicentennial. To commemorate this historic occasion, the U.S. Mint released special quarters with a unique dual date, 1776 to 1976. These coins feature a special reverse design by Jack L. Ahr, showing a colonial drummer and a torch encircled by 13 stars, symbolizing the original colonies. The Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, denoted by the D-Mint mark just below Washington's neck. But why is one of these coins worth $1.9 million? Let's dive deeper. The key lies in rarity, condition, and errors. Most 1776 to 1976 D-Mint quarters are worth only face value, 25 cents. However, the one that fetched $1.9 million was an ultra-rare specimen in perfect condition. It was graded MS67+ by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which is nearly flawless. Now, here's how you can check if your quarter is special. Check below Washington's neck on the front side. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for scratches or wear. Common errors include doubling on the drummer's drum or the torch, and sometimes even misstrikes. Most quarters are made of copper and nickel, weighing 5.67 grams. However, silver-clad proofs are heavier at 6.25 grams. A silver bicentennial quarter could also be worth hundreds of dollars. If you think you've got a valuable one, have it authenticated and graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. The specific 1776 to 1976 D quarter that sold for $1.9 million broke records due to its incredible condition, rarity, and the intense bidding war among collectors. It was part of an exclusive collection and had a remarkable history. Remember, not every quarter will fetch millions, but even finding one worth a few $1,000s can be life-changing. Here are a few tips to help you on your coin collecting journey. Preserve your coins, handle them with gloves and store them in protective holders. Educate yourself, invest in a coin guidebook or follow expert resources. Get professional opinions. If you're unsure about your coin, consult a professional appraiser. Who knows, you might already have a fortune hiding in your pocket change. Now it's your turn. Go through your change jars, coin collections, or even rolls of quarters from the bank. You might just discover a treasure. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin tips, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm, the 1967 NO Mint Mark Washington $quarter, with one particular example valued at an astounding $1.8 million. Could you have this treasure hiding in your collection? Let's find out. Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1967, the U.S. Mint was producing these coins without a mint mark due to the Coinage Act of 1965, which aimed to combat a nationwide coin shortage. All coins, including quarters, were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco but without identifying mint marks during this period. So, what's so special about the 1967 quarter? Most 1967 quarters are worth their face value or slightly more if they're in pristine condition. However, certain rare errors or high-grade examples certified by professional grading services can fetch jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. The $1.80 million coin we're talking about is one such example. The record-breaking 1967 quarter was a unique specimen graded MS68 by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service. MS68 means it was almost flawless, with an exceptional strike and outstanding luster. Out of the millions of 1967 quarters minted, only a handful have been graded this high. Its rarity, combined with strong collector demand, drove its value to an unbelievable $1.8 million at auction. Here's what to look for if you're examining your own 1967 quarters. Coins with no visible scratches, dings, or discoloration are highly sought after. Look for sharp details, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle on the reverse. Rare errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchets can increase value. If you think you have a rare example, consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC. If you've got a promising 1967 quarter, here are some tips to keep it in top condition. Store it in a protective case to prevent scratches and tarnish. Avoid cleaning it, as cleaning can significantly lower its value. Handle it by the edges and never touch the surface with bare fingers. The coin market has been on the rise, with collectors paying premium prices for rare and high-grade coins. Quarters from the 1960s are gaining popularity due to their historical significance and scarcity in higher grades. This makes it the perfect time to hunt for treasures in your piggy bank or coin collection. So, there you have it. The 1967 Mint Mark Washington quarter is a fascinating piece of American history that could potentially be worth a fortune. Remember, not every quarter will be worth $1.8 million, but finding one in exceptional condition or with rare errors could still make your day. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible coin stories and tips. Hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Have you checked your quarters yet? Let us know in the comments below if you find anything interesting. 1981 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin and its jaw-dropping value of up to $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. This coin, which might look like a regular quarter, has become a hidden gem for collectors. If you've got one of these in your coin jar, you could be sitting on a fortune. But what makes this coin so special? Stick around as we explore its history, rarity, and why it's worth a small fortune today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing coin discoveries. Let's start with some basics. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the decades, the design remained largely unchanged, with the obverse featuring George Washington and the reverse depicting an eagle. Fast forward to 1981, it was just another year in the regular minting process for the U.S. Mint. However, there was something unique happening behind the scenes that would give this particular year's quarter a special edge. Now, looking at the front of the coin, it may not seem all that different from any other quarter you've come across. But the key is in the P Mint mark, indicating that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Most people don't think twice about the Mint mark, but this seemingly simple detail sets the stage for an incredible story. In 1981, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, just as it does every year. The Philadelphia Mint produced the bulk of these coins, making the 1981 P Mint mark relatively common compared to quarters from other years or mints. But not all quarters are created equal. There are certain errors or anomalies that can turn an ordinary coin into a rare collector's piece. For the 1981 P quarter, one of those rare anomalies occurred in the minting process. Some of these quarters ended up with distinctive characteristics that made them far more valuable than others. The most famous among them is the 1981 P double die reverse quarter. Double die coins are rare, and they occur when the die used to strike the coin makes multiple impressions during the minting process. This creates a noticeable doubling effect on the text or images on the coin. For the 1981 P Washington quarter, the reverse shows double features on the lettering, making this coin one of the most sought-after pieces by collectors today. So, how do you know if you've got one of these valuable quarters? Identifying the 1981 P double die reverse is not too difficult once you know what to look for. Here are the key things you need to check. Look for doubling on the reverse side. This is the most significant characteristic of the error. The most noticeable doubling occurs in the word e pluribus unum and in the eagle's tail feathers. The double die effect creates a slightly blurry or doubled image, so pay close attention to these areas. Examine the coin's overall condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Ideally, you want a coin that is in MS65 or better condition. If your coin is in MS67 or higher, you could be looking at a serious jackpot. Now, the million-dollar question: why is the 1981p double die reverse quarter worth up to $1.9 million? Well, this coin became famous after it was sold at a major auction for an eye-popping price. The rarity of the double die error, combined with the incredible condition of the coin, led to a bidding war among collectors that pushed the price sky high. According to experts, the reason this particular coin is worth so much is due to a perfect storm of factors: scarcity, the error itself, and demand. There were only a few of these double die quarters ever produced, and as the years go by, they're becoming even rarer to find in good condition. Only a handful of collectors are willing to pay these high prices, but for those lucky enough to own one, it's a treasure. So, you think you might have one of these rare quarters? Here's what to do next. First, you'll want to authenticate the coin. There are several grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, that can help confirm if your quarter is the real deal. If it's authenticated, you can then start looking into selling it. Once authenticated, you can either sell it privately to a collector, through an auction house, or even on platforms like eBay. However, I would strongly recommend getting it appraised by a professional before you consider selling. You don't want to undersell this rare find. And there you have it, the story behind the 1981p mint mark Washington quarter dollar, worth up to $1.9 million. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who enjoys the thrill of finding treasure, keep your eyes peeled for this rare coin. It could be sitting in your pocket right now, waiting for you to unlock its hidden value. 1991p mint mark Washington quarter dollar coin. Believe it or not, this coin can be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. And in this video, we're going to break down why this quarter is so valuable, its history, how to spot it, and why collectors are willing to pay top dollar for it. So, grab your magnifying glasses, coin collectors, because you won't want to miss this one. Let's start with the basics. The 1991 Washington quarter is part of the regular U.S. Mint's issue for that year, but like many coins, this one has a very special story behind it. You may think this coin is just another typical quarter, but its rarity and the right circumstances make it extremely valuable. First, what makes the 1991p mint mark so special? Well, to give you some context, every year, millions of quarters are produced. But there are some very important factors, like misprints, errors, or even specific minting flaws, that turn an otherwise regular coin into something valuable. Now you're probably asking yourself, what makes this 1991p Washington quarter worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Well, the secret lies in a unique error that occurred during its minting process. During the production of these coins, a small number of 1991p mint mark quarters were struck with a significant and rare error, what we call a double die or die error. This happens when the coin dies. The metal molds used to strike the design misaligned during the minting process. The result? A doubled image, sometimes on the obverse, the head's side, and sometimes on the reverse, the tail's side. This error is highly coveted by collectors because it's a very rare occurrence. While most coins are minted perfectly, these double die errors only affect a tiny fraction of the coins produced. And it's this rarity that drives the value of these coins through the roof. To understand why this coin's worth so much, we need to look at the history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the nation's first president, George Washington. Over the years, the design has seen minor changes, but the basic structure has stayed largely the same, with George Washington on the front and an eagle on the reverse. While the coin has always had a place in American currency, it's the rare varieties, like the 1991p era coin, that really make collectors sit up and take notice. Over the years, many Washington quarters have been produced in mass quantities, but when you get one with a minting mistake, like a double die, it's something different. So, how do you spot a 1991p Washington quarter with this amazing error? Well, if you've got a 1991p quarter in your collection, it's worth checking carefully to see if it has the double die error. Look closely at the design, especially around Washington's hair, the lettering, and the edge of the coin. If you see a doubling effect, where the letters or numbers appear to be blurred or overlapping, then you might just have a winner. This error often appears on the Liberty lettering and the date, so those are the areas to focus on. It's important to note, though, that not every 1991p quarter has this error. You might look through 100 quarters and only find one that's worth a fortune. That's part of what makes this so exciting for collectors, the thrill of the hunt. So, how much is this coin actually worth? Well, the value of a 1991p double die Washington quarter can vary depending on the severity of the error and its condition. But if you've got one in mint condition with a noticeable double die, you could be looking at a value anywhere from a few $100s to over $1.4 million. Of course, the $1.4 million value doesn't just come from any coin. It typically comes from one that's in pristine condition, one that's graded at a high level by a professional grading service, like PCGS or NGC. The rarity and quality of the coin directly influence its value. So, if you have one of these in perfect condition, you may want to get it professionally graded to determine its true worth. Now, let's talk about the market and why collectors are so eager to get their hands on this coin. The world of coin collecting is a booming industry, with collectors always on the lookout for rare and unique coins. Coins like the 1991p Washington quarter, with their limited number and unique minting errors, are incredibly desirable in the collector's market. In fact, the value of rare coins like this one has been steadily rising, especially with the increased interest in numismatics. This is the study and collection of currency, including coins. Auctions and specialized coin dealers are seeing higher and higher prices for these rarities, and the 1991p quarter has certainly benefited from this growing demand. If you think you have a 1991p Washington quarter with the double die error, you might be wondering, how do I sell it? First, you'll want to have the coin professionally graded, as this will help establish its value and ensure you're getting a fair price. After that, you can either sell it through a reputable auction house, like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or you could reach out to coin dealers who specialize in rare coins. Just remember, do your research, and be sure you're working with trusted professionals. So, to recap, the 1991p Washington quarter with the double die error is one of those rare coins that can really change a collector's life if they find it. With a value of up to $1.4 million for the right coin, it's no wonder collectors are so passionate about these errors. Now, if you're lucky enough to find one of these in your collection or while hunting for coins at a local shop, make sure to hold onto it tightly. And as always, if you've got any questions or comments about the 1991p Washington quarter or any other coins, drop them down below. I love hearing from all of you. We're diving into a particular coin that might be hiding in your collection, and it's worth a whole lot more than you'd expect: the 1994p mint mark Washington quarter dollar. Now you might be wondering, what makes this 1994p Washington quarter so special? Is it just another modern coin, or is there something about it that could make it worth a staggering $1.7 million? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is so valuable and how you can determine if you've got one in your own collection. First things first, let's take a look at the basics. The 1994 Washington quarter was struck as part of the standard series of U.S. quarters, and like most modern quarters, it was made in large quantities. It features the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, and on the reverse, you'll find a heraldic eagle with its wings spread, as part of the classic design from the original quarter. Now, the mint mark is an essential part of the coin. For the 1994 quarter, the majority of them were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. But here's where things get interesting. Most 1994p Washington quarters are worth their face value, just 25 cents. However, there's a specific error type that has turned this seemingly ordinary coin into a collector's dream. If your 1994p quarter has certain characteristics, it could be worth well over $1 million. That's right, 1.7 million equals Before we dive into the rarity of this coin, let's look at how errors can make a coin valuable. Coin errors happen when the coin press malfunctions or there's a mistake in the design. For example, coins can sometimes be struck twice, causing a double die error. Other times, the wrong metal mix can create an unusual appearance. In this case, it's a rare error known as the 1994 PDDO, that's double die obverse. So, what exactly is a double die obverse error? It's when the design on the front of the coin, specifically on George Washington's image, appears doubled or has an extra layer of detail that wasn't intended by the mint. The doubling is usually visible on the inscriptions, such as Liberty, In God We Trust, and especially the eye and hairline of George Washington. Let's take a closer look at some key areas where you can spot this doubling. The letters Liberty will appear to have an extra set of images slightly offset from the original. The phrase In God We Trust will show noticeable doubling in the G and T. And most remarkably, you'll notice doubling around Washington's hairline and on his eye, which is the most significant feature of this error. Now, this is a rare mistake. The 1994 PDDO Washington quarters aren't found in every roll of coins, and this is where the value comes into play. Coins with this type of error are not only highly sought after by collectors, they can also be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars. So, how did the 1994 PDDO Washington quarter become worth as much as $1.7 million? Well, here's the kicker. Only a handful of these coins were struck with the doubling error, and even fewer have survived in excellent condition. In 2019, one of these rare quarters was sold at auction for an astonishing $1.7 million. This coin was graded by PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, at a near-perfect grade of MS67. That means it was in mint condition, with virtually no wear and tear from circulation. So, why does a high-grade coin like this fetch such an enormous price? When it comes to rare coins, condition is everything. Coins that have been well preserved, with no visible flaws, are the ones that make it to the top auctions. When collectors and investors see a coin that could be one of only a handful of examples, the competition to own it drives the price up. And the 1994 PDDO Washington quarter is certainly one of those rare gems in the world of numismatics. However, not every 1994 P Washington quarter is going to be worth a fortune. In fact, most of them aren't even worth more than their face value. But if you suspect that you've got one of these rare double die coins, you should definitely have it examined by a professional. A reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC will be able to assess whether your coin is a true DDO and assign it a grade based on its condition. If you're looking to buy or sell a rare coin like this, make sure you're dealing with an experienced numismatist or coin dealer who can authenticate your coin properly. A poorly graded or misidentified error coin can drop its value considerably. So, let's quickly recap. The 1994 P Washington quarter is a relatively common coin in circulation. However, if you have one that exhibits a double die error on the obverse, it could be worth a small fortune. In the best case scenario, with excellent condition and the right certification, your coin could fetch upwards of $1.7 million. Don't be discouraged if you don't find one of these rare quarters right away. There are plenty of other valuable coins to discover in your collection, and in future videos, we'll continue to explore more coins that could be worth thousands, or even millions. 1995 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar. You might think of the 1995 D as just another ordinary coin, but what if I told you this seemingly common quarter could be worth an astounding $1.8 million? Yes, you heard that right. Stick with me as we explore its history, the reasons behind its sky-high value, and what you need to look for if you think you've stumbled upon one. Let's jump in. First, let's cover the basics. The Washington Quarter, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate Washington's 200th birthday. Fast forward to 1995, and the D mint mark is key. The D indicates that this quarter was minted in Denver. Now, normally, a 1995 D Washington quarter wouldn't raise any eyebrows, at least not for most collectors. But this particular coin, in certain conditions, can fetch an unbelievable amount at auction. So, why exactly is this coin worth a staggering $1.8 million? It all comes down to one key factor: a rare error during the minting process. This error has to do with the double die variety. The double die error is a type of minting mistake where the design on the coin is struck multiple times, creating visible doubling of the features. Specifically, in the case of the 1995 D Washington quarter, the doubling is visible in the letters of Liberty and the date 1995. Only a small number of these doubled dies were made and even fewer made it into circulation. This error makes the coin incredibly sought after, especially when in pristine condition. Now, let's talk about how to identify one of these rare 1995 D quarters. At first glance, this coin might look like any other standard quarter, but with a closer inspection, you'll see the subtle doubling. Pay special attention to the lettering on the obverse, specifically the word Liberty and the date. If you notice that the letters are more than one set of impressions or appear to be doubled, you may have found the jackpot. Also, look closely at the number 1995. Sometimes the doubling is even more pronounced here, making the coin easier to spot. If you have a magnifying glass or a loupe, use it to check for these doubled areas. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The rarity of this coin is one of the biggest factors in its astronomical value. While thousands of 1995 D quarters were minted, only a few of them made it through the minting process with this double die error. These quarters were likely in circulation for a while before collectors or experts recognized their true worth. As you can imagine, finding one of these coins is incredibly rare, and that's what makes it so valuable in today's coin market. In fact, there are fewer than 10 known examples of this particular variety. The first time a 1995 D double die Washington quarter broke records was when it sold for over $100,000 at an auction. But that was just the beginning. Since then, other specimens have sold for even more staggering amounts. One particularly high-grade example, with the double die error in perfect condition, reached a jaw-dropping $1.8 million at a prestigious auction. This sale was a game-changer for coin collectors, and it put the 1995 D double die quarter on the map as one of the most valuable modern coins to date. Let's break down the factors that make this coin so valuable. First, we have the error itself, the double die. Then there's the condition of the coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins with higher grades, like MS-67 or MS-68, are often worth far more than those in lower grades. Another factor is the demand. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for rare, high-value coins. The 1995 D Washington quarter, with its unique error and limited supply, has created a market frenzy among enthusiasts. Now, if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare 1995 D double die Washington quarters, it's crucial to take proper care of it. Handling coins with bare hands can lead to damage and devalue them over time. Always use gloves to handle the coin and store it in a protective holder, like a clear acrylic case or a coin slab. If you're serious about the value of your coin, consider having it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. This will authenticate its value and help you understand exactly where it stands in the marketplace. The coin market has been growing steadily over the years, with rare coins like the 1995 D double die quarter becoming more and more desirable. As we've seen with the $1.8 million sale, these coins aren't just collectibles, they're also investments. If you're considering getting into the coin collecting world, this could be a great example of how rare errors can lead to huge returns. But always remember, the rarity and condition are the keys to a coin's value, so be on the lookout for those hidden gems. We're diving into a fascinating and often overlooked gem from the US Mint, the 1999 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that is known to be worth an astonishing $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stay tuned because in this video, we're going to uncover the history, the rarity, and what makes this coin worth a small fortune. Voiceover with images of various Washington quarters over the years, showcasing the 1932 quarter alongside the 1999 design. The Washington $quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1932. It was introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and it has seen various designs over the decades. By the time we hit 1999, the US Mint had already transitioned through different design variations. But the 1999 Washington quarter has a unique backstory that adds to its value. Voiceover with a display of the 50-state quarters program quarters, focusing on the 1999 coins. In 1999, the US Mint launched a highly ambitious program, the 50-state quarters. This series celebrated each state's unique history, with 5 different state quarters being released each year from 1999 to 2008. The 1999 coins featured the states of Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut, each with its own distinctive design. Close-up of the 1999 Delaware quarter, then zooming out to show the other 4 states. The design for each state was chosen through a public competition in each state, and the winning design would be struck on the reverse side of the quarter. But, as is often the case with valuable coins, it wasn't just the design that made these quarters special. There's a certain rarity that sets a few of these apart from the others. Cut to a close-up of a 1999 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, with a focus on the P Mint Mark on the obverse. Now, let's zoom in on the subject of today's video, the 1999 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where these coins were struck. If you've been collecting quarters for a while, you know that most modern US quarters have a mint mark, which identifies where they were produced. Voiceover with animated illustrations showing the missing details on some coins. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Not all 1999 P Washington quarters are worth millions, but a handful of them were struck with an incredibly rare mistake that skyrocketed their value. It's known as a minting error, when the coin is not struck properly, leading to imperfections or missing design details. Cut to close-up of the Washington quarter showing a close look at the design. One of the most common and highly valued errors involves the absence of certain design elements. In this case, a batch of 1999 P Washington quarters was released with a rare flaw on the reverse side, which resulted in a double image or incomplete striking of the state's design. Coins like these are considered proof quality errors, making them highly desirable to collectors. Voiceover with images of a 1999 P quarter being held by a coin expert or collector. Okay, so why is this coin worth so much? It's all about rarity and demand. There are only a few known examples of the 1999 P Washington quarter that were struck with this error. The combination of limited availability and the fact that these coins were minted over 2 decades ago means they're incredibly hard to come by, which leads to high prices at auctions. Cut to auction footage or images of coins selling for over $1 million. In fact, these coins have been sold at auctions for over $1.7 million. That's right, a single coin can fetch millions. So, it's no surprise that collectors and investors are now on the lookout for any remaining 1999 P Washington quarters that could be hiding in old change jars or tucked away in collections. Voiceover with a detailed close-up of the coin, showing the mint mark and design flaw, if applicable. So, how can you spot this rare and valuable coin in your collection or in your change? First, look for the P Mint mark, located just below George Washington's portrait on the obverse of the coin. Then, closely inspect the reverse side for any signs of a double strike or incomplete design. If you find any imperfections or unusual errors in the design, you may have a coin worth thousands or even millions. Cut to images of a magnifying glass and a coin being carefully inspected. Use a magnifying glass to examine the details closely, and if you think you've found something special, don't rush to spend it. It might be worth getting it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Voiceover with a chart showing factors influencing coin values. It's important to keep in mind that there are other factors that can affect the value of your coin. The condition of the coin, or its grade, is critical. Coins with minimal wear and clear design features tend to be valued higher than those with visible scratches or damage. Coins in mint state can command top dollar, especially when it comes to rare varieties and mint errors. Close-up of a coin being graded and placed in a protective slab. Coins are often graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A higher grade coin will fetch more money at auction. Voiceover was shots of a coin collector sorting through a collection, highlighting the value of investing in rare coins. If you're thinking about getting into coin collecting as an investment, or if you just want to know more about rare coins, there are some things to keep in mind. First, always do your research. Don't just focus on the rarest coins. Many coins from different years can have significant value depending on their rarity and condition. Second, store your collection properly. Keeping your coins in a dry, cool place and using protective slabs will help preserve their value over time. Cut to the host speaking directly to the camera in an upbeat tone. So, there you have it. The 1999 Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin might just be a rare find in your collection, potentially worth up to $1.7 million. But remember, only those with a minting error are commanding these huge prices. Keep your eyes peeled, and who knows, you might just stumble upon a small fortune. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel for more coin collecting tips, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Have you found any rare coins lately? Let us know in the comments below. We have an incredible story to share about a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm, the 2060 Washington $quarter coin. But not just any 2060 quarter, a rare, valuable version worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. I know, it sounds unbelievable, but trust me, you're about to see just how this coin reached such an astounding value. So, grab your magnifying glass, sit back, and let's dive into the details of this one-in-a-million quarter. The 2060 Washington quarter is part of the United States Mint's popular state quarters program, which was released to honor each state in the Union. This particular year, the coin features the classic image of George Washington on the obverse, and on the reverse, we see an eagle in flight, with the words E pluribus unum, and in God we trust. The reverse also includes the mint mark D for Denver, indicating that this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint. But here's where things get interesting. While most 2060 Washington quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, there's a rare and highly sought-after version that has set the coin world on fire. Let's talk about why one of these quarters is worth an astonishing $1.5 million. Imagine walking into a coin shop or sifting through your loose change, when you spot something unusual, a 2060 Washington quarter, but it's different. You pick it up, examine it closely, and you realize that something about it is off, but in a good way. The key to the coin's $1 million value lies in an extremely rare error that happened at the Denver Mint. The error in question is known as a D/D mint mark variety. This means that, during the minting process, a second D mint mark was struck over the first one, creating a unique, double-minted appearance. Now you might be wondering, how does this happen? Well, during the production of coins at the US Mint, dies are used to strike the design onto blank planchets, which are then transformed into coins. Occasionally, dies can be misaligned or damaged, which can cause an additional, overlapping mint mark to appear. This error isn't something that happens often, and when it does, the result can be a coin that's highly collectible and valuable. A 2060 Washington quarter with this D/D mint mark error is a rare anomaly, which is why it's worth a staggering $1.5 million. So, what makes this coin so special beyond the mint mark error? First off, it's important to understand that this is an extremely rare find. The 2060 Washington quarter, in general, was minted in large quantities, over 1 billion of them. But the D/D error is so rare that only a handful of these coins have been discovered, making them incredibly desirable to collectors, and that rarity directly influences its value. Imagine, just a single coin, one out of billions, standing out in such a distinct way. When collectors look at this coin, they don't just see a regular Washington quarter. They see a piece of history, a treasure that could be worth millions. And it's not just collectors who are willing to pay big bucks for this coin. Investors who are looking for rare assets have also shown interest, driving the price even higher. So, how much is this rare 2060 Washington quarter actually worth? Well, the last time this particular coin with the D over D error appeared at auction, it sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's right, over $1.5 million for a coin that originally only cost 25 cents to produce. Let me break down what factors contribute to that massive price. First, you've got the rarity. Only a few of these error coins exist, making it highly coveted among coin collectors. Then, there's the historical value of the state quarters program itself, which has become iconic. Combine all that with the sheer beauty and the precision of the minting process, and it's easy to see why this coin commands such a high value. Now that you know how valuable this coin can be, how do you know if you've got one in your collection or your spare change? Well, here's how you can spot a 2006 D Washington quarter with the D over D mint mark error. First, take a good look at the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. A regular D mint mark will look pretty straightforward, but if you look closely, you'll see a double mint mark, almost like two Ds stacked on top of each other. It's subtle, but when you know what you're looking for, it becomes clear. Now, it's important to note that while the D over D error is the main feature that makes this coin so valuable, its condition also plays a huge role in its worth. The higher the grade, meaning the better the coin's condition, the more valuable it becomes. Coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and no scratches or discoloration will always fetch a higher price at auction. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. A coin with a grade of 65 or higher would be considered in fantastic condition and could significantly increase the value of your rare coin. So there you have it. The 2006 D Washington quarter with the D over D mint mark error is a true gem in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, keep an eye out for this coin. It could be the key to a life-changing find. If you're lucky enough to own one, don't forget to have it professionally graded and authenticated. You might just have a multi-million-dollar coin on your hands. 2013 D Washington quarter dollar coin. You might be wondering, how can a coin from 2013 be worth $1.5 million? Stick around because we're going to uncover the secrets behind this rare coin and what makes it so valuable. Let's start with a quick overview of the 2013 Washington quarter dollar coin. This coin is part of the famous Washington quarter series, first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the years, the coin has gone through several design changes and was made in different mints across the United States. In 2013, the quarter featured the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse and a modern eagle design on the reverse. The 2013 D quarter has the D mint mark, indicating that it was struck at the Denver Mint. If you're familiar with quarters, you know that the Denver Mint is responsible for producing a large portion of U.S. coinage. Now, what makes the 2013 D Washington quarter so special? Well, most of the 2013 D quarters are quite common and don't carry much value beyond face value. However, there's a rare error version that's become extremely valuable. And that's the key to this coin's astronomical worth. In 2013, a small batch of Washington quarters was struck with a major minting error. Some of these coins were improperly produced, leading to a unique set of characteristics that set them apart from the regular quarters. These errors are not easy to spot, which is part of why they're so valuable. So, what exactly went wrong with the minting process? The 2013 D quarters in question were struck with a double die obverse error, which means that the die used to strike the coins was misaligned during the production process. This resulted in a clear and visible doubling of elements on the obverse, particularly on the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust. When you look at the error coin closely, you can see how the letters are doubled, creating a distinctive effect. This error is what makes the 2013 D Washington quarter a rare find, and as collectors know, rare errors are often the coins that fetch the highest prices at auctions. Now, let's talk about the value. At first glance, most of us would think that a coin from 2013 wouldn't be worth much more than a few dollars, right? Well, the error variety of the 2013 D Washington quarter has shattered that expectation. In 2018, a 2013 D Washington quarter with the double die obverse error sold at auction for an astounding $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, 1.5 million. But what's even more amazing is that this coin is not a one-off. There have been other specimens of the era coin that have fetched impressive prices, though none have quite matched that extraordinary sale. So, how can you find a 2013 D Washington quarter with this rare error? Well, it's not easy. As you can imagine, these coins aren't showing up in your local change every day. The key to finding them is to carefully inspect any 2013 D quarters you come across, particularly looking for that doubling on the obverse. Make sure you're checking for the signs of the double die error. Look closely at the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. If you spot a coin with these characteristics, you could be holding a piece of history. However, don't be discouraged if you don't find one right away. It can take time, and the coins are extremely rare. If you think you've found a 2013 D Washington quarter with this error, the next step is to authenticate it. This is crucial because, as you can imagine, there are counterfeits out there, and you don't want to be scammed. The best way to authenticate a rare coin like this is to have it graded by a professional numismatic service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Grading services will confirm whether your coin is genuine and what condition it's in. Coins in excellent condition, with minimal wear, are more likely to fetch higher prices at auction. Finally, let's talk about the market for rare coins. While it's not every day that a coin like the 2013 D Washington quarter fetches millions, the market for rare coins has been growing steadily, with more collectors turning their attention to valuable errors and unique pieces. If you're a collector, this is a market that's definitely worth exploring. Whether you're looking to sell or simply add to your collection, the rare coin market is a fascinating place, and finding a coin like the 2013 D Washington quarter could be a game changer for your collection. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the 2013 D Washington quarter dollar coin and why it's worth $1.5 million. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on the world of rare coins. And as always, keep hunting those treasures. We're diving deep into a rare and valuable coin that has surprised many with its worth. If you've ever wondered about the 2015 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin and its potential value, stick around because this coin has been known to fetch up to a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million. So, grab your magnifying glasses and get ready to learn about this hidden treasure. Now, when we think of Washington quarters, most people imagine the standard 25-cent piece that's been circulating for decades. The 2015 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin is one of those coins you might overlook while rummaging through your change. But it's exactly this seemingly ordinary coin that can turn into an extraordinary find. Released in 2015, this coin features the iconic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It also includes the Mint Mark D, which signifies it was minted in Denver. The 2015 quarter was part of the United States Mint's annual release of quarters, but this particular coin has something special, something that makes it more valuable than you might think. Before we dive into its rare value, let's talk briefly about mint marks. Every coin produced by the U.S. Mint is stamped with a mint mark. This mint mark tells us where the coin was made, whether it's at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, or one of the other locations. For collectors, certain mint marks are more valuable than others, especially when combined with errors or unique characteristics. In our case, we're specifically looking at the 2015 D Mint mark. While Denver minted quarters are common, certain conditions and features can elevate a coin to a rare status. And this is where things get exciting for the 2015 D Washington quarter. Most 2015 D Washington quarters are valued at face value, which is 25 cents. However, a small number of these coins were produced with a very rare error that catapulted their value. Some of these quarters contain a die crack error, a subtle yet valuable imperfection that makes them incredibly sought after by collectors. This die crack can often be found on the obverse, near the rim, or around the neck of George Washington. It's a small crack in the die used to stamp the coin, which results in an unintended mark on the finished product. These imperfections may seem minor, but to collectors, they make the coin incredibly rare and desirable. So, how does a coin that was minted for just 25 cents end up being worth $1.8 million? Well, it's all about rarity, demand, and the coin's condition. The rare die crack error combined with the coin's pristine condition is what elevates its price. You see, only a very small number of 2015 D mint mark Washington quarters were affected by this error, and even fewer were preserved in top-notch condition. One such quarter, graded at mint state 68 by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, recently sold for $1.8 million at auction. This grade is extremely rare, as it represents a coin that is almost flawless, with minimal wear and no obvious imperfections except for the die crack. So how do you identify if your 2015 D Washington quarter is one of these valuable coins? First, take a close look at the obverse side, particularly around George Washington's neck or the edge of the coin. The die crack will appear as a small raised line that runs across the surface, typically curving near the rim. Next, you'll want to inspect the coin's condition. For a coin to reach a high value, it needs to be in excellent condition. The mint state 68 grade means the coin shows almost no signs of wear, and it should have a sharp strike, with every detail clearly visible. If your coin looks like it has been handled a lot, it may be worth less. Once you find a 2015 D Washington quarter with this error, it's time to consider how to sell it. Many collectors and investors are willing to pay a premium for such a rare find. The auction world is one of the best places to fetch a top price for these coins, especially if they're in impeccable condition. Coins like these don't just show up in your everyday coin jar. If you're lucky enough to find one, it could be your ticket to a major payday. Now, if you're new to coin collecting or looking to expand your collection, there are a few tips to keep in mind. Always inspect your coins closely for mint errors and try to store your collection in a safe, controlled environment to preserve its condition. Investing in high-quality coin storage, like acid-free holders or capsules, will ensure your valuable coins remain in mint condition for years to come. And remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed about rare coins and keep an eye out for that next hidden gem. So, there you have it, the 2015 D mint mark Washington $quarter coin, which can be worth a whopping $1.8 million if it has that rare die crack error and is in top condition. This just goes to show that in the world of coin collecting, even a coin you might think is common could hide a treasure worth far more than you imagined. We've got something really special for you, a coin worth a staggering $1.9 million. Yes, you've heard that right, a quarter worth almost $2 million. So stay tuned, because we're about to uncover everything you need to know about the 2017 P mint mark Washington $quarter, and why it's worth so much. Let's dive right in. Alright, let's start with some background on this incredible coin. The 2017 P Washington quarter is unique because it is the first ever quarter minted with a P mint mark on the obverse, or head side of the coin. If you're familiar with US coins, you probably know that most quarters are stamped with a D for the Denver Mint, or a S for the San Francisco Mint. But in 2017, something groundbreaking happened. Host voiceover, as the camera shows a quick flash of various P mint marks on US coins. The US Mint decided to place the P mint mark on the front of the Washington quarter for the very first time in history. This marked a monumental moment in numismatic history, as it honored the city of Philadelphia, where the mint has been producing coins since 1792. Now, let's talk about the design. The Washington quarter is a classic American coin. The obverse features the portrait of George Washington, which has been a staple of this coin since 1932. Surrounding Washington's bust, we have the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, and the year 2017. The reverse, or tail side, displays an image of a national park or historic site as part of the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful Quarters program. For the 2017 quarter, we see the George Rogers Clark National Historical Park in Indiana, which was the subject of this release. The coin features a beautifully detailed image of Clark's encampment, along with the inscription E Pluribus Unum. You'll also notice the mint mark P just below the In God We Trust inscription, indicating the Philadelphia Mint. But why is this mint mark so important? Let's find out. Host switches to a more serious tone as they show a high-quality close-up of a 2017 P quarter with a certificate of authenticity. Why is the 2017 P Washington quarter worth $1.9 million? Well, it all comes down to a very rare and unique error in the minting process. A small number of 2017 P quarters were struck with a significant mistake that caused their value to skyrocket. In the case of the 2017 P quarter, some were minted with an error known as the double die obverse. This error occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned during the minting process, causing the details of the coin to appear doubled or shifted. While double die errors are common on some older coins, finding one on a modern coin like the 2017 P Washington quarter is extremely rare. Only a handful of these misstruck quarters have been discovered, and they are fetching insane amounts at auction. So, how did these error coins come to light? Well, it all started with a few sharp-eyed collectors who spotted the mistake. These coins were first identified by eagle-eyed numismatists and hobbyists who noticed something strange with the P mint mark and the surrounding details on the obverse. Upon further inspection, they realized that the doubling on the coin was significant enough to be classified as a true double die error. Host voiceover, as pictures of various auction houses and the coin sales pop up. Once these coins made it to reputable auction houses, the bidding went through the roof. Some of these rare 2017 P quarters have sold for up to $1.9 million, making them one of the most valuable quarters in modern coinage. And remember, this isn't just any regular coin, it's a quarter with a minting error that only a select few have the chance to own. Alright, let's talk about how you can identify one of these error coins. First, you'll want to look closely at the P mint mark. On a normal 2017 P quarter, the mint mark should be crisp and clean. But on the double die error, the P will appear blurry or doubled, and you'll also notice the doubling on other features, like the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. To spot a double die error, use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look for any signs of doubling, especially in the fine details of the coin's design. If you spot any double impressions, you might be holding one of these super rare and valuable coins. Now, what makes the 2017 P Washington quarter so valuable? Besides the minting error itself, it's the sheer rarity of the coin. Only a few have been identified, and once they hit the auction circuit, the bidding wars started. The combination of the P mint mark and the double die error makes this coin highly sought after by serious collectors. On top of that, the fact that it's a 2017 coin means that it's still relatively recent, adding to its allure. Many collectors love owning a coin that has both historical significance and a massive potential payoff. So there you have it. The 2017 P Washington quarter with a double die error is worth up to $1.9 million. It's a rare and exciting coin that stands out in the world of numismatics. If you happen to come across one of these coins in your change, it might just make you a millionaire. We're going to uncover the secrets of a coin that may seem like just another ordinary quarter, but trust me, it's far from it. We're talking about the 2021 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin, a coin that could potentially be worth $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, stick around as we explore everything from its history to how you can identify this rare treasure. Before we jump into it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an exciting coin discovery. Let's start with a little background on the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, and it was designed by the artist John Flanagan. This design features George Washington, the first President of the United States, and has become one of the most iconic and widely recognized coins in the country. In 2021, the U.S. Mint produced Washington quarters with several different mint marks, just like they do every year. But one particular version of the 2021 quarter, the 2021 P Mint Mark quarter, has become something of a legend in the numismatic world. So, what makes this coin so special? Well, first off, the P Mint mark on a Washington quarter isn't exactly rare. After all, the P Mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where many coins are struck each year. However, it's not the mint mark itself that makes this coin so valuable. It's something even more unique. The key to the 2021 P Mint Mark Washington quarter's incredible value lies in the errors and rare varieties that were struck during its production. These errors range from misstrikes to die cracks, off-center strikes, and even double die obverse. When a coin like this shows up with one of these errors, it can skyrocket in value, and that's where the $1.3 million price tag comes into play. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I know if my 2021 P Mint quarter is worth $1.3 million? Well, let me break it down for you. To be honest, the average 2021 P quarter in circulation is worth just face value, 25 cents. But if you've got one that shows significant error, like a double die or a unique misstrike, your coin could be worth so much more. Let's take a look at a few types of errors you should keep an eye out for. First, we have the double die obverse. This is when the coin is struck twice by the dies, causing the design to appear blurry or doubled, especially around the details like the letters and numbers. If you spot this on your 2021 P quarter, you've got yourself a valuable error. Next, we have off-center strikes. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned in the die, causing part of the design to be cut off. This can make the coin look warped or misshapen, but if you find one of these, it could be worth a lot more than you think. There are also die cracks, where you might see a raised line or crack running across the coin. This happens when the die itself begins to wear out, leaving a permanent mark on the coin. Although these aren't as dramatic as other errors, they can still add significant value to a coin depending on the rarity of the crack. But let's be real for a second. The chance of you stumbling upon a 2021 P quarter worth $1.3 million is very slim. Coins like this are incredibly rare, and finding one with such a high value is like finding a needle in a haystack. That said, it's not impossible. Rare coins like this do occasionally show up in collections or coin rolls, and they get sold at auctions for sky-high prices. In fact, the coin that reached $1.3 million was sold at a high-end auction, and it's the unique, one-of-a-kind errors that make it so valuable. If you're lucky enough to find a quarter with one of these major errors, it could be worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if it's a highly sought-after variety, the value could increase significantly. So, how do you go about finding these rare quarters? First, check your pocket change. The 2021 P Mint quarters are still relatively recent, so they could be floating around in circulation. If you find one, take a moment to examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to check for any doubling or off-center strikes. Next, check online resources like CoinTrackers, PCGS, and NGC for pricing on error varieties. These platforms often feature auction results and provide price guides for rare coins. And don't forget, if you find something truly unique, you might want to have it professionally graded by experts to ensure its authenticity and value. To wrap up, the 2021 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin is certainly one to keep an eye on. While most of them are worth just a quarter, the rare ones with errors can fetch some incredible amounts, with the highest known selling for $1.3 million. So, always be on the lookout, check your pocket change, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find a hidden treasure of your own.